Hello and welcome to Keepsales. Now in this video, we will be looking at exporting activity trail for auditing and its relevance. Now, activity trail is a feature that literally trails your activities, and specifically it trails a particular activity on Keepsales, which is that the feature tracks and records any update that you make to your inventory. Now, anytime you visit Keep Sales to make changes to your inventory, those updates are tracked for references and audit purposes. Now, I would like to give a brief background on how this feature came into being on Keep Sales, and that happened when there used to be disagreements over the quantities of products during auditing, between usually between managers of businesses and then their sales staff. So whenever there were discrepancies noted, the question was, is it the fault of the sales staff or the manager? Now, on a sales level, there's a reference quantity to track purchases against the quantity of product initially stored or in your inventory. But there was nothing to check the one who is responsible for updating the inventory. So, after listening to constant feedbacks from clients, because we love feedbacks from clients, this feature was actually developed. So, in reports and exports, we are able to export a report on our activity trail. That's on our activities, which specifically is the changes that were made to the inventory. Now, this event on Keep Sales is usually very important during stock taking or stock auditing procedures. Now, in these two events, what we realize is the quantity of stock may be altered or maintained on Keep Sales depending on what is available on the shelf. Now, when these alterations are done, it becomes necessary to now have a report in order to understand where the discrepancies were in the report and therefore know the right actions to take. So without activity trail, it will be practically very difficult to ascertain discrepancies going on in your shop. And if care isn't taken, theft will happen right under your nose and you wouldn't know how that happened. So exporting your activity trail is very, very important to us and important to you as well. So if you want to be able to download or export your activity trail, you actually, this is how you go about it. You go to your records and history, and then you click on reports and exports. You've already done videos on reports and exports. So do check them all out. So you click on reports and exports and it brings you to this particular page, and in this particular page, when you scroll down, under products and inventory intelligence, because activity trail is all about our trailing our updates to our inventories. The feature tracks the updates that we make to our inventory. So under products and inventory intelligence, you are able to export your activity trail for auditing. So when we click on this, you select the dates, the particular date that you want. So let's just select any random date. I hope we'll be able to have particular updates done on those days. So let's say 2021. Now in the report format, when you click on this, there are three of them. There's the entire breakdown, there's summarized, and then there's products left hanging after stock taking. So now we are going to look at all of them. So now entire breakdowns. So you're able to export these reports according to batches. So now there's a first 400, there's a second 400, there's a third 400, and there's a fourth 400. So in order, according to these batches, if you have more than 400 products, then after you've clicked on the first 400, now you want to click on the second 400 as well. So for now, we just do our first 400. So let's click on this. So when we click over here, great. So for the particular date that we selected, so over here we see the entire breakdown, for the particular date that we selected. So over here it says the report can be downloaded and printed out as an A4 size sheet. So we see the user involved. So we see who made that particular change. We see the item involved, with its batch identity. We see the quantity change. Now over here, you see before it says that the quantity was 0, and then after it was 720. So now the change of 720 has been made. Okay, now we also see the cost price, the selling price, and the wholesale price, and then the timestamp. Okay, so you're able to know that. Now these are important because anytime there are any changes made to where either the name of the item, the quantity of the item, the cost price, selling price, and wholesale, it's all reflected here. Okay, so over here, after you've clicked on that, you can download, and then you can also print as well. Okay, so now this for a breakdown, the entire breakdown. Now let's look at the next one, which is summarized. Okay, now I'll tell us the difference between the entire breakdown and then the summarized. Okay, so over here, this is how the summarized is going to look like. Now in the entire breakdown, you realize that sometimes there may be items at different locations in your shop which have all been separately altered or worked on. So let's say you have Coca-Cola in shelf 1, and then Coca-Cola in, let's say, another shelf 3. Okay, so let's say they made changes to Coca-Cola in shelf 1, and then they came to make another changes in Coca-Cola in shelf 3. So under entire breakdown, you see for the two, so you realize that Coca-Cola would appear twice. But for summarized, because it's one item, whether you made the changes in shelf 1 and later you added what was in shelf 3, okay, it doesn't give you those two, it puts everything together. Okay, so that is how come, and then it's summarized. Okay, so unlike the entire breakdown, which gave us all the you know cost price, selling price, wholesale price. Over here, you are just limited to three things: the item, the quantity after taking stock. Okay, so you see the before and then after, and then the price changes. Okay, so this is a summarized version. Okay, for you, so you are able to use this particular information. Okay, for your audit purposes. Okay, so again, here you can download or print this particular document. Okay, so that is that for summarized. And then we have products left hanging after stock taking. So you realize that when you click on products left hanging after stock taking, sometimes when you are going through the whole auditing, okay, for the entire product, there may be products you might not have touched. Okay, you didn't make any changes to any of these products. Okay, these are the particular products we are talking about. Okay, so these are the quantities not updated after stock taking. So sometimes it's very important because it draws your mind. Sometimes you might have skipped certain items. Okay, might have skipped them. So over here you're able to know that, okay, so I didn't make any changes. Then you can cross check to see if everything was actually okay, or you in or it was an accident. You might have overlooked those particular products. Okay, so that is that for activity trail. So again, you can download and print as well. Okay. Okay, so this is how to export your activity trail for your audit purposes. Like I talked about in the introduction, it is very, very important, in your auditing, especially during stock taking or your stock audit process. And then it helps you to be able to ascertain discrepancies in your inventory as well. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We have a lot more where these videos came from, so do check them all out. I'll see you again in our next video. Have a nice time and bye bye.